Well, here goes nothing. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. This is our special Saturday sports wrap. Woo! We do not have an intro song yet. Oh, but we are equally excited. We are as excited as if we did have an intro song.
This sounds like an intro song.
It's not official, but the Brian Moreno Show Saturday Sports Edition is here, everyone.
Golly gee, am I excited to be here, guys.
Richard Sarvate to my right.
Hey, everybody. Richard I'm excited to learn from you guys. I'm delicate. I'm soft. Please. Brian has already hurt my feelings by I've been here half an hour. My feelings have already been destroyed because I don't know who Kiefer Sutherland is, and you're supposed to know, apparently.
I mean,
he actually means like Hunter Renfro. He doesn't know who Hunter Renfro is. He knows who Kiefer Sutherland is. But that being said, this show is for everyone. If you don't like sports, if you don't know anything about sports, this show is still for you. We'll have comedy, we'll have gambling, but if you do like gambling and fantasy, we'll have everything you need. But if you don't like them, if you don't know anything about them, Richard Sarvate is your man.
I don't know anything. Nothing.
So we not only will we break things down for Richard and the rest of you, we plan to make it fun, and let's see if we can do that. So before we get started, it is a wonderful day in Lakerland.
yeah.
Lakers up 2-0 on the very decimated Miami Heat. The line for the game was 10.5 points. The Lakers won by 10. Yes, when lines get that big, you stay away. And as much as I love the Lakers, it's very hard.
What is a line?
Richard Sarvate, we will get to that. The line, plain and simple, the line is a plus or minus number.
Okay.
And you plus or minus that number from said team's final score.
Okay. Oh, and if you get in between that, then your bet
Well,
wins?
you're 10.5. That 0.5 is what they call the hook in gambling. So a team may score the 100 as the Lakers Nuggets game. 124-114 was the score.
Okay.
The line was 10.5.
Okay.
So you would take the Lakers score and minus 10.5 from them.
Yeah.
And so that means the Lakers lost to the Nuggets by a half a point.
Okay. Wait, but even though they won?
Even though they won, they were favored. It's like a handicap in golf
Oh,
or
it's a
something.
handicap. Oh, so if you bet for the Lakers to win, you still would have lost.
If you bet the Lakers minus 10.5.
Okay.
There's also a thing
okay.
called the money line.
Got it.
The money line is when you bet straight up on a team. And we're going to have experts come in. This show will be filled with all kinds of information. We'll talk about the Lakers a little more, but before any further ado, we've had quite a day in the NFL when it comes to news. Our man in the newsroom, Brian Schlesinger, has everything for you. We don't yet have news music yet, but either way, the crowd is roaring. What do you got for us today, Brian Schlesinger?
I have some big news. The biggest news is Cam Newton has coronavirus.
Ooh.
And yeah, he was doing well. Everybody's talking about Cam this, Cam that, and now he is most likely to miss the next game playing the Chiefs, and that should be moved to Tuesday.
And for Richard Sarvate and everyone else, who is Cam Newton?
So the one thing I know is that we were talking about Cam Newton sharing an Instagram model with another player. That is what I know about Cam Newton.
Okay, yeah. That's good. And I'm going to be nice, by the way.
Thank you.
Apologize about the whole Kiefer Sutherland thing. But,
Thank you.
yeah.
Tell me a little bit about Cam Newton.
Cam Newton replaced Tom Brady on the New England Patriots.
Okay. I know who Tom Brady is.
Right. So, he wasn't doing that well on the Panthers, his last team, but he's doing great this year so far.
Okay. The dynamic with the Patriots really works for Cam Newton.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He likes Bill Belichick's cutoff sleeves.
But this is also a very big deal because it's basically 24 hours before the game. So the game right now has been canceled or postponed?
Most likely to be played Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Please make sure to have Adam Schefter's Twitter up.
It is actually from him.
Okay, yes. If any breaking news comes in, feel free to interject up in the newsroom, Brian Schlesinger. So let's get into our betting without further ado, and let's see if this game is even on the board. Let's see if there's even a line for the game. I'm going to my gambling site, and by the end of the show, Richard Sarvate will have to make his best bet with real money, real Brian Moreno money.
Mm-hmm. Moreno dollars.
Moreno dollars. He will
cash.
have to make the best bet whether I like it or not. So it looks to me like the New England game is off the board. So the better, they've taken it off the board.
Because they're not going to play because Cam has corona?
Well, Cam's not going to play, but
Okay.
they're going to have to play somebody, which is interesting also for fantasy. You have all these injuries that have happened the first couple weeks of the NFL, and now you have coronavirus that's going to put players on the injured reserve or leave them out or postponed, and they'll have a bye week. There's lots of things up in the air. So we really don't know, but it might be, it might be the practice squad out there starting.
Yeah, well, this has a lot of real-world effects for revenue.
Mm-hmm.
For one,
Yeah.
there's a lot of money on the line, TV contracts, things like that. So they want to get the game played, but they don't want to get to a point where, say, they have to postpone the game and you get to the end of the season and both of these teams are one game short and you don't have a week to
Right.
fill it. Because that's basically what happened in, I believe it was Major League Baseball. I believe with the Oakland A's did not they weren't able to even complete their season because some games got canceled because of Corona.
And then what happens for the
You just
World Series or whatever?
well, they just don't make the. The
make
A's
it.
are in the playoffs.
Yeah.
We'll get to baseball once we get our gambling expert on the line. I would like to consider myself an expert, but this week I would say I am not so good. I decided to bet the Lakers under yesterday, and for those of you who don't know, you have the option to bet the total score on games. So
Which is both teams' total score combined, and that's your total.
So that's
for the
an
Laker
option.
game, it was 224. So what was the over-under, as we call it?
Yeah, the over/under was I believe it was 217.
217.
217, and I bet
covered.
Oh, so
if
that's
you
a
bet
total point. 217 is a total point.
Yeah, and I bet they would go under that,
okay.
and they blew it out.
You never bet the under.
Well, see-
Slow death.
This was my biggest mistake on that bet. The Miami Heat came to that game missing Bam Adebayo, one of their biggest players, Goran Dragic.
Yep.
Tyler Hero, as we've discussed at great lengths on this episode, was probably fucking all day and night.
Right.
Exhausted.
It definitely affected his play, and in a negative way.
It doesn't play any defense to begin with.
Yeah.
Right? So I did not take into consideration that this major lack of defense would lead to such an increase in scoring. And this was, real world oversight on my part.
So when you say you bet you said you bet 217 under that it would.
Yes, that the total score would go under 217 because I was expecting
Okay.
the Lakers win to say like 82-108 or something.
Oh, there hasn't been 82 since 82. Like, I feel like now every team breaks 100.
Yeah,
They're not playing defense as tight. The game has picked up speed. It's a lot faster paced, There's a lot more younger kids running up and down the court. That's why it's amazing LeBron plays as well as he does.
Because he's with all these young kids, huh?
Yeah, and he can keep up.
Yeah, man. LeBron is my hero.
Yes, LeBron is quite the athlete. And what's even more impressive, what is LeBron's age? What is he, 35? 17 years in the league?
42.
Jesus Christ, really?
No,
Let me
no,
confirm.
42. How old is LeBron? He's got at least 3 or 4 really good years left in him, and that's just incredible. Wow. So let's go.
Well, I consider myself to be a late bloomer too, so that's why I feel like I relate to LeBron.
He's 35.
35, yeah, I thought so. 30. He's
He's a good-looking 35.
I'm getting sorry, I'm doing tons of things at the same time. This is, like I say, a very special day. We're going to have one of our gambling experts in, Lincoln Musser. This is our man on the inside.
All right.
Yeah, so Richard, when we get our expert on the phone.
Yes.
If anything is too high level or something that you don't understand, intricacies of the games, we're going to go game by game.
Okay.
Talk about the teams. Feel free to let me know. But once we move on, if you have any questions,
just jot them
yes,
down.
after.
But it's cool with me interjecting, asking if I don't know some lingo.
If you don't know some lingo, write that down after. Our expert's got too much in his mind for that. We'll discuss. We'll do all the breakdown of each game, because you're going to have to, at the end of this episode, you're going to have to put Moreno dollars on the line.
So I'm going to be picking what team to win and what scores. I think
no, just what team to win. You get one. Well, you can make whatever bet you want.
Okay.
I would suggest that you just pick a team against the spread. But remember, it gets very close.
What does against the spread mean?
With the handicap, the plus or minus.
Okay.
And betting underdogs usually is a good bet in football, but I have to tell you, this year the favorites have been covering at, say, a 60% some clip, 62% clip. So that's got to come back. It's got to regress.
Mm-hmm. You're saying that the people who are favored to win are winning?
Yes, the people. More than half the time, the people who are favored, and that's not usually the case. Usually the underdog covers because people bet favorites. Remember, the public.
People bet favorites,
yes.
Yeah. And what did you say, clips? What does that mean?
At a percent, whatever the percent is that someone's doing.
Got it.
I'll speak a little less street. Gambling street, like I'll speak less like I'm about to roll some dominoes and make these bets. I will.
So the people who make these lines, we like to call them wise guys.
Okay.
Because they are always, like last night with the Lakers and the Heat, were half a point off. So they always get it real close. They're real good in getting both sides equally bet on.
Right.
If one side is, let's say the points start out at -3,
right,
and then the line moves to -3.5, and then it could move to -4, and that's because everybody's betting on the favorite. So they're trying to move it up to make more people bet on the underdog.
Wow, these are definitely some wise men.
Whew, let me tell you. Hey. And if you don't pay your bookie and you have a bad week, guess what happens?
Yeah, I mean, that's what they say. And my bookie currently owes me $3,500. I would like to know if he would let me run that kind of tab. I doubt it. Let's get our expert on the phone, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait for this call. Let's see what happens here.
I think we're all very excited, Brian.
Oh, I'd have to say so. I would have to say so. Sarvate in the city. You do, as a San Francisco, you lean towards San Francisco, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, I grew up watching the 49ers, Hey,
bud.
I thought so. Ladies and gentlemen, on the line, our man on the inside, the man with his ear to the ground, with Vegas's money in his pocket. I have leaned on this man's expertise. God, Lincoln, 25 years now. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Lincoln Musser. Do you hear that, Lincoln?
We are live, Lincoln.
You are a man on the
Time
inside.
flies, bro.
Oh, it sure does, Lincoln. I'm very excited. Let's get the games up, and we're just gonna start with the top. Lincoln resides out of Indianapolis, Indiana. We went to Indiana University together. So let's start right there. Lincoln, Indianapolis Colts, Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears, they're showing me a +3 right now against the Indianapolis Colts, who I hear all week, best defense in the NFL. What do you got, Lincoln?
Well, bro, I'm a homer. That's kind of a rough one.
But the thing is, you're a homer for Indianapolis and Chicago.
What do you think about Foles? That's the big thing.
Big D Nick. Big Dick Nick is starting. Okay, and
he did win a Super Bowl one year.
Yes, he did. But I gotta tell you, I gotta tell you, Lincoln. I don't know. The Colts haven't played anyone good. I don't know if they're that good. Are they?
No, they're not. Old man Phillips' arms will turn into a wet noodle. But our defense so far is pretty tough. But like you said, it's so early to really feel them out yet.
Okay, so I can tell by your answer you like my bet. I have already bet the Bears +3.
Really?
Yes, I've already I just like the underdog in this, and I think Nick Foles is going to air it out. I like the fact there's no fans in the stands. It's quiet. I don't know. What do you think, Lincoln? What?
Yeah. Like I said, I'm a homer. I would take the Colts, but I think Colts defense is overrated. Marlon Mack's out for the year. T.Y. Hilton's ghost of his former self. No tight ends. And we do have Jonathan Taylor, that rookie running back, but I don't know. The Bears are about as good as I've seen them for a long time, even though it's early. But,
wow, I can feel it, Lincoln.
I'm a homer, man.
An Indianapolis Colts fan likes the Bears. All right, let's see. Let's move on to the next one. What do you think? Saints, Lions, Lincoln. Saints, Lions, Drew Brees. You want to talk about a wet noodle for an arm? Drew Brees can't throw it more than 6 yards.
I don't know what's going on with him.
And their injury report, and this has to be the week that Sean Payton just throws out the kitchen sink, right?
What's the spread? They're both. I think they both only won a game.
That is Detroit +3. Detroit +3, which seems to me like it's
a little fishy.
And they're begging for you to take New Orleans, aren't they?
Yeah, but Detroit's also, people had them as kind of the underrated underdog. That guy you like, Max Kellerman. A lot of people were high on the Lions, thinking, Stafford was going to come out blazing.
And what do you think?
I'd take the Lions. I would definitely take the Lions on that one.
Wow, we got two underdog picks. I've already bet for full disclosure, I have already bet the Lions. Last night, Lincoln.
Is this a massive parlay, or you just
straight up parlays every way. I gotta tell you though, Lincoln. Homer bet of the week last night, midnight my time. $200, New England +7.
Oh.
Well, Cam Newton, coronavirus today.
Yeah.
The game. So the bet is still in. I don't know if the bookie's going to take it off.
Your bet's going to be locked up for a couple weeks.
I don't know. How does that? Do you have any idea how that works, Lincoln?
No, I don't. I was just looking up right now. Who are they starting instead of Cam?
Well, right now the game is tentatively for Tuesday, but if they get some more cases, I can see that game getting canceled or pushed back.
I bet you Belichick wants it to get pushed back.
Oh, I'm sure. Cam, what do you think about Cam Newton in New England? What are your thoughts?
Love him. I mean, what is he, like the 30th highest paid quarterback right now? On basically a veteran minimum.
Brian Hoyer is going to be starting the game.
Brian Hoyer.
And I think it's Tuesday.
God.
And there's no postponing. It's Tuesday.
Wow.
It's Tuesday.
I think my line, because the line was New England +7, which I liked with Cam, but now that the game's canceled or the game's postponed without Cam, if they put that back on the board, I can imagine it might be New England 10, 12.
Yeah, 14.
Probably.
Because
Probably.
Kansas City's going to boat race them.
Oh, God, yeah. I
You're
mean,
probably right.
New England has a good defense, but when you have any defense on the team the whole game, it takes a toll.
Introduce yourself to Lincoln, Brian.
Lincoln, Brian Schlesinger, how are you?
Our man in the newsroom is here, Lincoln.
Yeah, I think I saw him on your podcast or your episode 2 that I watched, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I was looking up the folks. That was good
Nice,
stuff.
we like that.
And then I just want to say hi here too. I'm Richard Sarvate.
Yes, Richard.
I don't know. So Lincoln, I don't know anything about sports, and Brian are just having me here. I think basically for comic relief and also to teach me, so at some point I can be useful. But oh right. So for this episode, I'm gathering information while you guys are all talking, and at the end of the episode, I'm going to put a $50 bet using Brian's money on a game. So it's
Cool.
It's in everyone's best interest to educate me. So maybe you could tell me what's your best bet for the week.
Let me look at. I just did a couple parlays last night, but what's the Seahawks line?
I mean, and I don't know if you should take Lincoln's best bet. That's not yours, you know.
-5. Yeah.
But Seattle,
-5.
they're missing.
I assume
they're
playing
missing
the Dolphins.
Sorry, they're missing Chris Carson. They're and who else? They have some other injuries.
Seattle. So you say, wait, you're saying take
Seattle's I think they're the best team right now.
I think they're the best team, Lincoln. But right now we have. Let me see what that line is.
In Miami, I thought it'd be like -7, 8. It's -5.
Okay, okay. And this is an excellent point for Richard Sarvate. This is because he's taking real Moreno money, Lincoln. You understand? And whatever bet he chooses, I'm placing that bet. I'll place it on Bovada online right now, which is technically illegal in the state of California. However, it's federally legal. I will place the $50 bet, whatever he picks.
So this is on any two teams?
Well, any game.
Yeah,
any game.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And this is a very interesting point because Lincoln says his best bet is Seattle -5.5 at Miami. And let me explain this game to you, Richard. Seattle actually has to make the furthest flight in the NFL, Seattle to Miami, in sweltering October, Miami Heat, Lincoln.
Oh.
You think Seattle's going to come in and smack them down?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. You think the Heat isn't going to slow down Russell Wilson at all?
No.
Wow.
Russell's the DK Metcalf, Russell, that connection, Lockett. Say Chris Carson's hurt though.
Yeah, but then you got and Hyde was the backup, and I think he's out too. Carlos Hyde.
So what?
Carlos Hyde's a backup. Yeah. I mean, you got Metcalf. Who they got? Greg Olson too in the offseason. I don't know. I'm a big fan of Seattle.
But Seattle isn't used to playing in this harsh weather, right? Basically, it's cold. So, I mean, have they played many games? Because I know when I go for a walk in the heat, like even to Starbucks, I get like pretty tired,
And Miami's team's terrible for one, and I don't think it's going to be that hot in Miami in October, right? You're just kind of being funny, were you?
No, Lincoln, I'm going to give you the weather report. No, this time of year. I always know that teams that go to Miami and play this time of year always tucker out by the fourth quarter. Always. And I use that. And this is also another rule of thumb. I think the 5.5 line in football is the shadiest line there is. I think anytime a line is 5, you almost have to take the points and close your eyes because Vegas knows something that I don't.
Yeah, well, the home team gets 3, but
why is it not 7?
Right? What about? Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yeah, I don't know.
It's magic.
typically before I bet, I always make the line in my head. Then I check it with FanDuel. So I assume Seattle would be -9.
Exactly. So what is fishy?
But
There's
Vegas-
something fishy,
Yeah,
and
no,
Vegas
you're right.
knows things. I promise
Vegas
you.
is crazy.
They are good, and there's something funny money about that line. I'm telling you. And this is the weather report. Seattle at Dolphins. Partly cloudy, 85 degrees, 3% chance of
What
rain.
time? What
1
time's the game?
p.m.
Oh, that's 10 their time.
10 a.m. Yeah.
That's at 10 a.m., the longest flight.
Oof.
These are all factors you have to take in count, Richard. All right, let's move on. Vikings-Texans. We have the much maligned Minnesota Vikings and Kirk Cousins, who I don't know if he's any good or not. I mean, I guess we know what he is. And then you have versus
But he's
Deshaun.
got
Deshaun
got
Watson
the
has
weapons.
nothing. Deshaun Watson
Right.
has nothing.
nothing. But what are they about? What are they at 3, 4, 5?
Vikings are
-3.
3.5-point underdogs, plus 3.5 at Texas. And Kirk
Houston.
Cousins had a good game
Houston.
last week.
Yeah, but the Colts just ripped them apart. They looked terrible. Obviously, that was the first game of the year, but I would lean on the Texans
Oof.
just for Deshaun Watson. But the Vikings have a ton of weapons. Dalvin Cook, that rookie from LSU who's been lighting it up.
Adam Thielen.
Justin Jefferson, yeah.
Yes, that game, the line right now, 3.5. And just to let you know, I have also bet this underdog. I'm a big underdog fan this weekend. I took the Vikings at 3. I love them at 3.5.
What if is the over under high? If it's high,
53.5.
Okay.
Right now, the average in the NFL, I believe, is 51 is what we're averaging. And the overs have been crushing. So that has to come back down to earth. Because defenses haven't caught up to the offenses, I think. Because
Right.
no preseason.
Right. I don't know. I would take Houston.
See, the expert and I are different again on this one,
Why
Richard.
don't you guys keep the bookies out of it, huh?
All right, now we move to Brian Schlesinger's favorite team. Another funny line. Chargers +7 at Tampa Bay. I believe there will be 10,000 fans in the stadium.
Ooh.
That's a big number. +7?
I don't know. I think Tampa Bay is just warming up, man. I mean, Brady's just starting to look a little bit comfortable.
I tend to lean that way also. What are your thoughts, Brian Schlesinger?
Well, being a Charger fan, I mean, I think the Chargers defense is going to hit them where it hurts. I'm not saying, for them to do anything or for anybody to wish harm on anyone. I mean that at all. But, the Chargers ain't bad. And Herbert, once he gets his feet, a little bit wet, he's going to be a great quarterback. He's 6'6". He's got, he's got a really strong arm, and he's got some great receivers in Williams and Allen. And, they just they need to work on it a little bit. But I think they're going to be a great team.
Well, let me give you one more number.
What better way to, make a statement against Tom Brady? They're going to have to do something.
Yeah. They got Eckler too, don't they? And they signed Hunter Henry. Yeah, they are. They got a little bit better offense than I thought.
Yeah, they really, and Eckler, and you got Justin Jackson backing him up. And their defense is pretty good.
But again, they're flying from L.A. to Florida, and here's another number for you. 42.5 is the over-under for this game.
So they're saying more defense.
Wow. 2 points. That's low.
And it goes slower because of Tom Brady. He likes to walk more.
So is that telling me that the score is going to be 10-17? What's the move on this game? I like the Bucks also, but what are you thinking, Lincoln Musser?
I'm Bucks. Grunk.
Wow.
Mike Evans.
Wow.
Brady.
Yes, we're finally in agreement on this one. Next, we move down. The Baltimore Ravens coming off a big loss. Baltimore Ravens
So
minus The biggest number.
Wait a minute. Don't tell me. Is it like 15?
Yep.
17? 14. I knew it'd be huge.
And
Washington's
Caesars now
terrible.
has it at 13.
Yeah, see, well,
Ooh.
So I actually like Washington, to be honest. Like, I have 4 players on my fantasy from Baltimore, and I'm still saying that I don't know why, but Washington, I mean, Baltimore is just, they've been having their number handed to them. Lamar Jackson has, like, got something going on in his head, or I don't know what's going on over there.
and who are your fantasy players?
I have Lamar Jackson. I have Marquise Brown, who had 0 points last week.
Mhm.
And I have Tucker, the kicker, and I have the Ravens defense. And I played against the Colts defense, Lincoln, so you know how bad that was for me.
Right.
27
That's a lot of points, too.
Oh, my
I'd probably
God.
take the points. That's a lot of points.
That's a lot
So
of
right
points,
here,
see?
you are betting the Washington football team, the Washington formerly known as the Redskins.
I mean,
And
if
with
I
Haskins,
had to.
Yeah,
you
if
believe in Haskins and their running back, and they got a little bit of, a little bit
Probably
of
a
defense.
low-scoring game. I mean, I don't know. I can't imagine Washington being able to score too many points.
I can't either. I don't think Dwayne Haskins is an NFL quarterback. I mean, in my personal opinion, I don't think he has any business in that franchise, and I don't think he's gonna have a job with Washington next year. I think John Fox will get that. Not John Fox. Who's the coach from Carolina? Their coach now, Ron Rivera.
Yeah,
Ron Rivera is the coach, and I think he's going to hopefully get that ship righted because the NFL is better when that team is good. But I guess this is also some late breaking news. The Colts. Did you hear the Colts-Bears game is now the 4:00 national game?
Yeah.
That got moved from 1 to 4.
Right.
I don't know if that helps either of those
I don't think
teams.
so either.
What is the Midwest weather like now? What's the weather in Chicago going to be like?
Cold and rainy. 50 probably and rainy.
50 and rainy. Now,
That's going to be fun.
does that help
would favor the
Foles or
Bears.
Rivers?
Probably favorite. Philip likes to throw the ball 50 times a game.
Well, he likes to throw 2 picks a game. It's just
Yeah, in the red zone.
when is he going to throw those interceptions? That's the question.
Dude, he's been throwing them. Don't worry.
All right, let's move on to it's a very thin late slate. This week is very thin, especially with the Patriots game getting moved.
And the Tennessee Titans.
Yes.
Tennessee Titans now have
That's right.
18 players and staff infected with coronavirus. And so they just played. Who did they play last week? The Falcons?
No, they
Or
played
the
Minnesota.
And nobody from Minnesota has it yet. So
They have
Which is
18 people with
Interesting.
coronavirus
Yeah.
on the Titans.
yeah.
So that the Titans were also supposed to play this week, but that game got canceled. And we're gonna get to baseball after this, Lincoln. So you got a little time for us, right?
Yeah.
Good, excellent. I want to hear your thoughts on the Cubs and the Dodgers. Let's get to the late slate. Giants, Rams, the second biggest number of the weekend.
Yeah.
And
Let's hear what
Another
Lincoln guesses.
14.
13 and a half. Giants are
Wow.
13 and a half point underdogs to the Los Angeles Rams, who could beat the Giants 30-3, in my opinion. Normally, like Washington, we make an argument for how they could maybe cover. I can't see any way that the Giants cover 14 points.
I
No.
totally agree with that.
No.
Because the
No, I
Rams
mean-
at home, they didn't have to travel. And I love their team this year. I think Goff is a great quarterback. I think he's got a lot of support with the running game and his receivers. And their defense, they got a hardcore defense. That defensive line, ooh-wee. I like the Rams.
So that is 13 and a half points.
Wow.
48 over under. What are you thinking, Lincoln? You got to bet it. What do you do?
That's just a lot of points to give. But, I mean, I'm trying to think in my head, the Giants, where they got Golden Tate. That's all I can think of right now. And he's ancient. They still got that tight end, I guess, Evan Ingram. But
But what's that quarterback? Daniel Jones. He'll throw 3 interceptions and 1 touchdown.
He's
a
another
game.
quarterback that should not be in the NFL.
I mean, yeah, totally. Rams will light it up. I would take the Rams. You take 13?
Taking a big number, 13.5. 13.5, but I would
move to 12.
I would say they win by
Caesars.
I would spot I'd spot the Giants at many points. All right, now here I find this one of the most interesting games of the weekend. Buffalo Bills at Las Vegas Raiders. And that's Raiders at home.
Buffalo Bills at Raiders.
Raiders have a big injury report this week. I believe their secondary and receivers, I believe, are quite banged up. I believe Hunter Renfrow, the kicker, is like the 3rd string receiver right now for the Las Vegas Raiders. So the team is beaten up. They have the total as a big number, 53 over under.
So it's not. I was going to guess a pick 'em. So they got Bills probably.
Bills are favored by 3. Bills are favored by 3 on the road. The thing is, they look good. It's a good defense.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen is...
and they haven't lost it either, I don't think.
No, I believe they are undefeated. I believe that's... Yes. What are your thoughts?
Buffalo.
Gruden coming off a big win last week. It just sounds like a letdown. I think I have to go with Buffalo with you on this one too. This might be one that, depending on how my 1 o'clock bets go, I may lay that kind of enough.
Yeah.
Enough.
Buffalo's always been missing the offense, and now that looks like they've got a pretty, with Diggs stuff. Looks like they're probably. I don't know. They're built to make a run.
Wow.
Because offense was the only thing they've been missing for the past couple of years.
The thing is, Buffalo in the winter makes a lot of good quarterbacks look very pedestrian. So that's why
it's in Vegas.
No, right now. But I'm saying, come wintertime, is Josh Allen still gonna look like the same quarterback? Right now they got it. Right now they got it. And then this is the nighttime game. I have no idea what to think about either of these teams. Eagles, 49ers.
Ooh, Eagles are bad.
Yeah, but the Niners are missing their quarterback, their running back, they have a lot of injuries too.
This is
a 5-point 49ers?
7.5. I think it may have started at 5. It's all the way up to 49ers are 7.5 point favorites, which that's a big number for a team. I don't even know who the starting quarterback is. I have no idea. I don't.
Wentz is terrible.
Well, he doesn't look the same anymore.
Yeah. Who is the backup quarterback? I mean, that might help me.
The backup, let's see. Let's go right now.
Oh, Nick Mullins.
Ooh, stinky.
Mullins.
Wasn't he in Chicago? Yeah, I don't know.
Stinky Mullins.
No, Nick Mullins is probably he must be a rookie. I've never even heard of him.
I've heard of him.
Well, Nick Mullins versus Carson Wentz. And
Wentz is due. They haven't won yet.
Yeah. But Dallas Goedert is injured. If you look at their injury report, they have been decimated, and I think a lot of not having a preseason has really beat up some of these players' bodies.
But 7.5.
7.5. Who are you taking in this one?
Eagles. They're due.
Wow, Eagles, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Plus 7, another dog.
Plus, I see it. I totally.
That half point. So I think 49ers will win, but I just think Eagles will give them a run for their money because they haven't even won a game yet. Did they tie last week?
Yes, they did. And they played for a tie, which was even worse.
Yeah.
They didn't even play for the win.
And we've got Frank Reich, remember the Eagles assistant, who he goes for it on force, would never go for the tie.
Wow.
I'm glad we get.
What a season. I think we're seeing in the NFL, the good teams and the strong programs are getting better, and the teams with weak ownership, management, and coaches, they're just in the pandemic without the preseason. The divide, the rift is getting bigger between the good and bad teams, I feel like.
Yeah.
There's less
Chiefs.
Well, yeah, there's less parity this year, I believe, and not having the preseason and regular practices. I think that's a big thing in the NFL. Now, Richard, before we move on to any fantasy, do you have any questions about the lines for Lincoln?
Well, no, I'm just feeling for the 49ers. I mean, that's I lived the last 10 years in San Francisco, and I just really want that to be my bet.
He's a homer too.
Yeah, but no, I don't have any
We missed Monday night, but
No, I guess what is the Monday night game this
Atlanta
week?
at Green Bay.
Why not?
Atlanta, Green Bay. Yeah, Lincoln, what are your thoughts? Atlanta, Green Bay, 7 points. Falcons, underdogs. And so many parlays. This is going to be a big makeup game for people. 7 points. This is going to be a
Atlanta blew it to Foles. They were up by 21 with 8 minutes to go, doing what Atlanta does. Blew a 21-point lead when Foles came in.
Let me ask you, how many times can a team have so many heartbreaking losses without it really affecting the overall psyche? Like, at a certain point in time, the players, they're going to feel, as much as they feel like they can win, they're never going to feel secure or like their team, we're just going to give it away again. And then once the cracks start to come in the dam, the water starts to flow quicker and quicker, I don't know.
Yeah.
After that loss last week, I'm like, are they going to come back stronger or worse? Green Bay looks good. 7 points though?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers.
Does Green Bay ever blow out anyone right now? I don't know.
The only person they're missing is Devontae Adams. I think that really, would matter in that game, and they're going to probably.
And I heard he might even play.
I don't know, because their next week is a bye, so they might want to keep him out for another extra week just in case, because I think they could get the job done without him. But I
bet on Aaron Rodgers.
It's a big game. Monday
time.
nights the stage is bigger. The game means more.
I tend to lean to underdogs on Monday night just because we've seen so many crazy comebacks and things like that. That being said, I lost so much on the Falcons Patriots Super Bowl. I don't think I could ever trust that franchise again. I was buying pizza at halftime for everybody because I was sure there's no way they were going to lose.
Yeah.
I can tell you how much I wanted to collect from people for that pizza come the end of the game. Lincoln.
That's so funny. I just have a regular gambling question. With all of these spreads, doesn't it come down to 50% chance you're going to win, 50% chance you're not going to? Because all these spreads are 49ers have to win by 7.5. So it's just like a black or white on the roulette table again, right?
I disagree because
that's what Vegas wants. Vegas wants 50-50. They want 50% to bet for one team and 50-50 on the other team.
That's what I would say that 80 to 90% of America bets on, black, like it's 50-50, black and white.
Yeah,
but
that's
there's
why
a
they
little
moved
bit
the
of
spread.
skill involved that,
Well, the little bit of skill involved, understand the best gamblers in the world.
Yeah.
The best in the world rub up on 70%.
Okay.
And that's good.
So that means something more that the
that
people who are
you
making
have either an informational, you believe you have an informational advantage, or like Lincoln. Lincoln lives in Indianapolis, very smart gambler, informed. He may have a slight advantage, and know that the Colts, you're hearing a lot of hype about how good the Colts are, da-da-da. People are going to believe that. He's like, well, they might not be as good as everyone's saying, and can bet accordingly. That being said, Lincoln's also a Colts fan and has lost enough money on the Colts to know what that means.
Got it. So now this podcast can be a way that people could get that extra 1%, 2% advantage that they need.
Sure. Well, I give my best bets. I'll have the expert Lincoln Musser on the show every week to dispute my intellect and my
The spreads also are just kind of what's being bet. Like I said, like if it's moving up, they want if the Falcons keep moving up, they want the other people to start betting on the other team.
Okay, so they just keep on doing it until there's 50-50.
That's what they want. That's their main goal. Yeah, that's their main objective.
Got it. But sometimes you can bet earlier, right? Because like probably earlier on, it was like 49ers 5 or something.
Right.
And then it's
or something like the Patriots, which, by the way, I don't know if you made your pick on that game either.
I told you I made the bet last night at midnight.
Oh yeah, okay. So that line was at 7, and now that's going to change because Cam Newton's not starting.
So we're trying to like catch these bets like that are good in the moment. Because like if it was 49ers 5, we should have.
But then there might be an update that it works. Against you also.
Well, also understand when a line moves, Lincoln will tell you this. A professional bettor has to be able to be like, look, I really like them at 5.5, but I like that other team at 7.
Right.
Then you could do which is very rare, to middle your bet and win both.
Now we're talking about high-level teasers and other things, and we'll get that into a later show. But as Vegas gets a little more information on these teams, the lines start to get much tighter. I've done, like I say, I'm up right now. I'm hitting at over 80% on the NFL season. So I'm expecting a regression. That's why this week
It's also because it's the beginning of the season, so there's a lot to be discovered there.
Harder to pick too earlier in the season.
Well, I think it's easier. I think it gets harder later because the lines.
Because, like you said, the
but you
teams
get
that
a
are good
feel for teams.
Well, I bet. Like last week, I was all over Detroit. I knew they were going to beat Arizona, and they were the underdog. And everyone told me that was crazy. Yeah. And I think things are going to start to get a lot tighter. Let's see if that's the case or not. But let's keep moving. But before we do, Lincoln, I want to go over last time. I'm going to go from the top. I say Bears +3. Lincoln refuses to say that, but I think he agrees. Colts, Bears +3. Saints, Lions. I think Lincoln and I both like Lions +3.
Mm-hmm.
Then this is where we start to get a little bit different here. We didn't do Browns, Cowboys. What do you think? Cowboys -3.5. Cleveland Browns.
Oof. I'll take Cowboys.
That's going to be a really big bet game.
Come on. How do you not take the Cowboys?
That's going to be big.
That's a fishy line, too.
I'm so low on Baker Mayfield. True.
Yeah, who would take that?
I don't know.
Dallas has been playing pretty well.
This is a tough.
His weapons, though, he'll just Chubb, Kareem Hunt. Like if you just keep pounding it with those two guys.
Kareem Hunt is out.
Oh, he is.
Yes, I think he's injured this week. Is he on your fantasy team, Brian?
Yes.
I thought so.
And Devontae Adams. But see, that's
and
why
they got
Odell
Beckham Jr. They never use. I think he's got 6 catches for the year. It's like you got a shiny Ferrari in the garage and you never, give it to him.
Wow. Well, I'd
take Cowboys.
I may sound like a broken record. This would be a game. As a bettor, I would take the Browns in a teaser. I would tease that number up to over 7, and because I feel like whatever's going to happen, it's going to be closer. So as a bettor, I wouldn't bet the Cowboys straight up, but I would tease that Brown up to above a 7 and then close my eyes and not watch the game because I would scream at the play calling, the Browns play calling, I'm sure.
But You know how teasers usually are. You never need those points for the most part.
No, you just that's the things.
And you lose so much value.
You do. You really do lose a lot of value.
Compared to the parlay. I mean, if you did a $50 parlay on 3 teams, put an underdog in there. I mean, that's a $500 probably $400, just depending on how big the underdog money line is. But
well, then I would say, and this, if I have to make the bet, I'd take Browns money line. I would take the Browns as an underdog winner.
There you go.
I would take the plus 168 Brown, just because it's such an unfriendly bet, and the Cowboys are another one of those teams that they. My ass is so chafed from believing in the Cowboys.
They're 50-50.
And I don't know.
A 500 team for a decade.
Yeah, and Cowboy fans act like they're good. That's what pisses me off.
Well, their talent is always top tier. I mean, Cooper, Zeke, Dak.
Sure. A great offensive line.
On CeeDee Lamb. They blew their load on CeeDee Lamb. First round pick.
Which I don't. Jerry Jones still hasn't gotten over not drafting Randy Moss.
Yeah.
He never let that one go.
Well, did he have an opportunity to draft Moss?
Yeah, I believe Moss slipped.
4?
Moss slipped a little, rememher, because of
he did, right.
Yeah, and that's why he went to Minnesota, because they thought Chris Carter could help him out. So he did slip, yes. So let's move on. Okay, you're taking the Cowboys -3. We go Vikings-Texans. Lincoln likes Texans -3.5. I go Vikings plus. Seattle Dolphins. Again, I'm taking the underdog.
It's Patrick? Oh,
Ryan, the Harvard man. The Harvard man. Yes. We're a big fan of the Harvard man here. Yes, so Fitzpatrick, and close your eyes. Don't watch the game, because in the first half you'll probably think it's over. All right, Chargers, Buccaneers. We're both saying Tom Brady. Buccaneers -7. The Ravens versus the Washington football team +14. I can't. I don't think I could bet that game. I don't know. I guess I would just take I don't know. I guess.
Tease it up to 20.
Yeah, tease it.
I don't even know if that's enough points.
I don't know. That might not be enough points. I don't know.
That might not still be enough.
Yeah. And again, Giants-Rams, same thing. -13.5 for the Rams. Just do it and check back in after half. You know, I'm trying to make your money, people. I'm trying to do my best, but I'm also trying to keep you off the Xanax. You know, I'm doing my best. Now let's move on. MLB playoffs. We got the division series. This is big time Billy right here. Division series. Start. Yes. What? And which is maybe for this program isn't the worst, because I feel like you might have been a little biased, Lincoln.
True. But now I'm heavily biased for your team. Your team is. I would put the house on it to win it all.
Really?
Dodgers.
So yes, you are in with the Dodgers right now,
aren't you?
Yeah. Oh, I think they have the deepest batting order. I don't necessarily know if the bullpen is that good, but I don't know how good it has to be when they're up.
I think we're good. We're a lot better than we were, and we never used to have the offense that we have now. So I like the Dodgers too.
So maybe next week we'll check in with you for a shorter little baseball wrap, Lincoln. But let me give you the breakdowns, and I just want to hear a series winner in how many games? 5-game series. Tampa Bay, New York Yankees.
Oof, Yankees.
Oh, you're taking Yankees. Wow.
Yeah.
Is their pitching good enough?
I don't know. Their offense is, and I don't think Tampa Bay's got it. But it's like Yankees Dodgers is just my what I'm seeing. I think they're on a crash course for each other.
Really? Yankees, Dodgers. That would
What about the Astros? That means the Yankees got to get through the Astros.
do that. Astros, A's.
Astros are great.
A's is the
Neither of the, yeah. I'm not impressed with either of them.
Astros versus Oak. I don't know what to think of the Astros anymore. I've lost all respect for the organization. I feel like they destroyed Clayton Kershaw's reputation, and you know, whoops. This was the no. I'm looking for a sad sound to describe what they did to Kershaw. Kershaw's career, Lincoln. I feel like you know, like it's baseball. People cheat. People cheat in every sport, but they were doing like that kind of that high school type of egregious cheating where, you know, you're so young, like you have no respect for the game or the other players or the people who've made sacrifices. You know, like when beating on, they had people in the outfield with high telephoto lenses getting the pitcher's signals. They were radioing them back to the people in the dugout, and they had a guy with a 55-gallon drum who would beat the drum a certain amount of times so the batter could hear the pitch. Clayton Kershaw would come in relief. He would throw his cutter. They would know it's coming. Gone. He would look like he was choking, but the batter knew what pitch was coming.
Is that real?
This was real, yeah. And only they lost nothing.
Well, they're getting beamed every game. You know, people are throwing fastballs.
Well, they should, as they should.
Yeah, I'm assuming the Athletics are heavy favorites or no?
I will get in on that. I'm not.
Yeah.
I lost
I'm assuming they must be.
I lost all respect for the organization, I really even lost respect for Major League Baseball for not punishing the Astros more heavily. Like they
remember the World Series? Altuve, they tried to pull his shirt off, and he was going crazy because he was wired up underneath there. And they showed the replay of that.
Wow.
You didn't notice it at the time, but he took off running for the dugout.
So he was wired with something that told him it was egregious. It was high level from the executives, high level cheating to win and
what was the punishment?
They lost
slap on the wrist,
fines. Some people, executives got suspended.
Okay,
they fired the top brass. That's about it.
Yeah,
but they
enough.
Yeah,
MLB did not. MLB didn't impose it much.
No, it was a sad day for LA and sports, and it's still like it. I don't know how it would really have changed anything in the world if the Dodgers would have won the World Series, but I know the people who do who really love baseball. Yeah. The purity of it the way I do, and the Dodgers, you have to feel jaded and maligned in some way because Clayton Kershaw, of all athletes and stars, he genuinely seems like a nice guy. He does well for the city, and for him to have gone down the way he did, it hurts me as a fan, as a sports fan, and as somebody who believes you got to put everything out there all the time. Like, God, it pisses me off. Now let's do some series prices, Lincoln. You like it so far? This is our first sports rap show, but you see what I'm doing, Lincoln. Every week I am giving the public all the information in this brain, and God, I hope.
You touched on it last week with the Tyler Hero's girlfriend.
Sure.
Him for Caruso, maybe.
Yeah. I know you like that. That's good. Okay. Rays and Yankees. The Rays, the Yankees, it's basically even. Yankees are minus 125.
Is it? Okay.
Yep. So you're taking Yankees?
Definitely.
Yankees. In 5 games, you got how many games?
Three. Man, I don't know. I mean, obviously,
5 games
would
is
think,
tough.
I would think Tampa's going to win one, of course.
So Yankees in 4.
Probably even go to 5.
Yankees in 5.
If I had to bet. Yeah.
All right, Yankees in 5. We got. Let's move on down. Astros, Athletics. Astros are slight favorites. Or no, excuse me.
Astros are favorite?
Athletics are slight favorite. Minus 135.
Only slight.
Minus 135.
Really?
Yes.
Hmm.
Well, they must think that the Astros are finally getting their act together. That's my guess.
No.
My
Astros
guess.
are. Yeah, I'll take the A's.
Oh, I hope the Athletics cheat their ways to a victory. I have zero love for that team. Now we got Marlins, Braves. Braves are big favorites.
Heavy favorites, yeah.
Big.
Figured.
Do the Braves have any chance against Los Angeles, Lincoln?
Oh man, no.
No, I like that.
I think the Dodgers are, best all-around team. Middle relief from 1 through 5, starting pitching, the whole. I mean, they have no weakness.
Their relievers seem to be consistent. They, but I don't know. This is the question that I have about baseball. I know that
you watch them closer than
when
me,
the pressure's on, are some of these players, some of these younger players, going to perform at the same level that they are? I don't know. Like without 50,000 fans in the stadium, I think that helps some of the younger arms.
Mm-hmm.
But as we've seen time and time again in sports, not every player can hang when the lights get really hot. Like not everyone is hardwired to perform when the heat is on, and so many players in baseball, they lose their mind, they lose their ability, everything. It's
Well, I think pressure affects
Good
people
point.
differently, right? I mean, some people thrive under pressure, some people do bad under pressure.
Sure, absolutely. And then let's go Braves. Oh, here we go. Dodgers, Padres. Dodgers are minus 280.
Wow. Dodgers all day.
Dodgers all day. Lincoln.
I've already made that pretty clear.
Dodgers all day. We like it. Lincoln, thank you for being here on our official first sports wrap, our Saturday sports wrap. Hopefully you're free next Saturday so I can talk to you about all your bad bets. All your bad picks, Lincoln. Yes, I'll have this up a little later today. Please stay healthy. And don't fake Corona next week when we need to rub it in.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you, sir. We will talk to you very soon, Lincoln.
All right, later, guys.
Bye, buddy.
Lincoln.
Bye-bye. All right. We have done.
My goodness, I have gone to sports college.
Yeah, we have done everything that we know besides the final bet. We don't have a name yet for this segment, which we can blame. God, none of us for. None of us.
I mean,
Richard, this is the time. I'm logging in to my account. This is the moment.
Okay. Gosh.
do you know?
When Richard Sarvate, this is when we take real Moreno dollars.
Wow.
I'm logging in.
This is a big moment.
Yes,
My
let's see. Whoa, nope, there's not. There's 11 cents in that account. We will not be using Bovada.
That's too much money for me to play with.
We will go to my regular book. This is official, Richard Sarvate.
Well,
Let's go through. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm thinking of
Because you are the everyman in this scenario. You get to take real Moreno dollars, and you bet them on one game, on your best bet of the week. And in this situation, I don't want you. I would prefer you to not be a homer. I want you to take don't take your love for San Francisco.
No, yeah, I wasn't going to bet on the San Francisco game.
Yes, remove that.
So,
Good.
yeah, absolutely not. So one thing, But I'm allowed to bet on either team, right? So I could say I can bet on the
Yes,
Eagles
sir. No, yes, sir.
But
I just didn't want you to make a bet.
based on love.
Yes, based on love alone.
Right. No. Okay.
You know, if
We call those heart bets. And when you bet on your heart, Brian, what happens?
you break your heart.
You usually end up losing
yeah, well,
because you want your team to win and you think they're going to do well.
I have done pretty well betting against the Lakers
Wow.
in my life, just because so many people bet the Lakers. The lines are usually inflated,
Oh,
and
right.
the Lakers, yes, they can blow teams out, but the Lakers,
But you're saying that like the Lakers win the games, but you bet on the other team.
yes, just
Yeah,
because
yeah,
the
yeah.
line is too
Just
big.
because, exactly.
And I'm
Okay.
like, the Lakers they're gonna win by like 5 or 6. They're gonna win by 13.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something like that.
right.
You know, and that's what I feel like where I get some of my advantage, my local advantage,
Mhm.
because I do really pay attention to Laker news.
Kyle Kuzma and his girlfriend,
Kyle
that
Kuzma's
whole deal.
love.
Yeah, Instagram handles.
I actually still haven't looked up Kyle Kuzma's new girlfriend, which was brought up last time. I think that could be a discussion for after the finals.
Yeah.
Maybe when Kuzma's in studio.
He has
So I'm
still
torn
been
be-
horrible.
Yeah, I'm just torn between a couple things because there's a lot of bets that look like, oh, these teams will obviously win. Like betting the Dodgers against the Padres seems like a great idea, but I don't want to do something.
No.
that's, like,
It
too
has
easy.
this has to be a tomorrow game.
Oh, okay, so
Tomorrow,
NFL.
Sunday, NFL.
NFL tomorrow. Okay.
Yes.
Well, the Dodgers are playing tomorrow.
Okay.
But
Are they? Does that play tomorrow?
the Lakers are
I
playing.
I
I don't
think-
know if the Dodgers.
No,
are
I don't believe the Dodgers play till Monday. I will.
It hurts to bet against your team because I would like to bet on the
Well,
Eagles.
no. You're only betting
Yeah,
the
they're playing.
line. You're not
Right.
necessarily betting against them.
That's
Remember
true, yeah.
that.
And then I like that New England is getting used to Tom Brady. I think as they gel. I mean, Tom Brady is a god. Sorry,
Meaning Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. Sorry,
Uh huh. Okay.
Yeah.
And their defense and that whole thing. Okay.
but it's against the Chargers, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, you know what? Wow, I would just hate to bet on Tampa Bay and then have to watch the game with Brian. You know?
Because you know how I am.
That's the only issue.
I'll probably watch the game by myself this weekend.
So I don't want to do a too controversial of a bet for my first time.
Yeah, but you want to win. So if you think that's the game, then
Yeah, but
by all means.
our friendship is more important to me than the making some money
Yeah, I
here.
can't promise I would be so nice to you.
Yes.
Wow.
Richard.
See, that's the thing. I'm too nice, right?
No, see, Richard. This is win at all costs.
Wow.
Yes, I don't care if you have to call in a bomb threat to the stadium. What? They'd be like, nobody's here, brah. Like,
Okay. Well, okay. I'm looking at betting Tampa Bay. That's a big contender for what's going to happen.
Okay.
Who is Seattle playing against? They're going to
Miami.
They're also going to
Seattle versus the
Heat.
Dolphins
Miami.
in Miami.
what team?
The Miami Dolphins.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of like. I think you made a bunch of good arguments for why Seattle's going to have a hard time during that game, and I kind of feel because, dude, I hate cross country flights, man. You know, I am not functional. You know, if I have a show in Massachusetts, dude, I suck at that.
It messes you up. They're
Yeah.
going to be playing at what's normally 10 a.m. their time under that extreme heat and humidity. It
Yeah.
runs a human down.
But then also, I don't want to bet something that you're already betting, right?
Well, no, you don't. No, this is your bet.
Okay.
Don't do totally independent. I pose the arguments based on my thoughts. You saw how Lincoln was able to make equally impressive arguments the other way.
Gosh, what was one that you guys differed on?
Miami, Seattle, the one you just picked.
Right.
Yes.
And you think Miami's going to win?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. The heat and the
Yeah. See, I kind of want to do something different than you.
Brian Schlesinger. Can you chime in? Do we have any news while Richard thinks? By the way, no late breaking news.
No late breaking news that I've seen yet.
Okay, excellent. Because you are the man
I'm
with
trying
his
to
finger
be.
on the pulse.
Oh yeah.
Excellent. So
Well, Adam
right.
Schefter is the man with his finger on the pulse, and I just follow.
You're-
him
yes,
in his,
you're-
in his footsteps.
you're following the man with the finger. That's good enough for me.
We're helping each other with work.
Excellent. Excellent. What are your thoughts?
So I'm thinking let's bet on Tampa Bay against the Chargers.
Tampa Bay. Wow, Tom Brady.
Wow, made it.
Title Tom once again.
I mean, I believe he has God on his side.
TB and TB.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and-
Here we go. We put it up. It's on screen. 7 points. Tampa Bay. We buy no points.
It's 3, no?
No, it's -7.
Wow, so it opened at 3.
-7. $50 Moreno dollars.
Boom.
Wow.
50
Is that
Moreno
real
dollars. You're
US
actually
dollars?
betting 58 to win 50.
All right.
Yes,
I
here
feel
we
good about
go.
this.
Yes.
I mean, I feel awful about this.
Tampa Bay.
Already, even before the game?
Wow, you got better's remorse
Already?
before I was even able to make the bet.
No. Let's stick with it. Let's stick with it.
Trust me, if you make a bet and the quarterback gets coronavirus the next morning, is cause.
It still counts.
That's cause for better's remorse, ladies and gentlemen. I was trying to be early and smart. Let's see what happens. Richard Sarvate,
Yes.
Brian Schlesinger, I think we did it once again.
I would like to say to Richard, good luck this weekend. And I mean it. I
Wow.
hope you win your bet. Because to be honest, the Chargers need a lot of help. It's not going to happen this year. I get it. You're not going to win. I'd rather you win your money. So let's have a good weekend.
All right.
I think we all did good. Richard Sarvate, our amateur bet of the week.
Sexy amateur.
Yes, our sexy amateur. Yes, sexy amateur. That's a good.
Sexy amateur bets.
Yes, sexy amateur bet. Sexy verified amateurs.
Sexy amateurs.
Sexy verified amateur bets. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am Brian Moreno. This has been the Brian Moreno Show. Thank you all very much. We'll be back next week with the results and more news, more laughter. Stay safe. Be healthy. Thank you all very much.